I've just finished recording a mug of tea with Gio on our Patreon channel. And during that, we get asked a lot of questions. That's the whole premise of the show. And somebody asked a question. It might have been Andy. Excuse me if I got that wrong. The question was basically, do I think that the 180 grand that Jesse Lingard is demanding is too much? Now, before I ask you your opinion on that, this is not what it's about. But it made me think of something which I hadn't really considered before. And I just want to sort of share that with you. Because it's something that I think David Moyes is unaware of. David Moyes, as we know, is very, very careful with making his transfers. He doesn't want to get it wrong. That doesn't stop him from getting it wrong sometimes, as we gave a couple of examples, like Vlasic, like Krau. We gave a couple of examples before. Just discussed it with Gio. You sort of go back a little bit and you look at Jordan Hugill and Patrice Evra and stuff like that. However, he is careful and he does get an awful lot right. However, I think sometimes David Moyes is so busy trying to protect his money or the club's money or making sure he gets it right, and he's so concerned with the value of a transfer, he actually forgets the value and the uplift that transfer will give you. Now, if it makes it easier, because whenever I discuss Jesse Lingard, there's always a lot of people who will say, oh, why are you discussing him? Don't discuss him. If it makes it easier, think of it as another player. It doesn't have to be Jesse Lingard, okay? But it's just any player whose wages might be high. Just consider this, if you will. Let's say David Moyes thinks that the 180 grand is too much. Now, it's not 180 grand a week, okay? We can give him a £6 million signing on fee and sign him up for 110 grand a week. But let's say David Moyes wants to haggle. There's no other club in town. Newcastle have dropped out. There's no competition. Basically, can we pay Jesse Lingard less than he wants? The answer is yes. But what we're going to have to do then, well, we're going to have to start negotiating. And if we start negotiating, that's going to take time. I've no doubt that we could start negotiating with Jesse Lingard now and get to the end of the transfer window and at some point get a deal done. Now, there's value in that in as much as we will save ourselves some money, but we actually lose some value in terms of the feel-good factor around the club and the uplift. So consider the reverse of that. Consider that we actually do just sign Jesse Lingard. And we do it now. But actually, we probably, whenever we can, when the 1st of June or whenever that cut-off date is. Imagine the uplift that number one gives the club. First of all, the club and the players think, oh, that's good, Jesse signed. We know him, we played with him before. The team will be better with Jesse Lingard included in it. Declan Rice feels an uplift, and he immediately thinks, hold on, this is good. Jesse's on board. At the same time, we announce that Declan Rice is staying with us for another season. And we get Declan Rice to announce it as well. If he is, he is. That's great. Immediately, there is a different vibe around the whole club. Now, David Moyes might not particularly think there's much value in giving the fans an uplift and giving the fans a little bit of something to get cheery about. But I do think it's important because at the moment, a lot of people are on a downer about the transfer window. And that was emphasised none more so than in the striker video that I did, the last video that I did, where there was a massive row on there. And I apologise if I didn't get to it and moderate it quickly enough. I just didn't expect to see it. I didn't expect that particular subject to trigger people so much. And it's absolutely not cool to insult people and their mental health and start calling them names and their family names over a difference of footballing opinion. Some people were saying it's only the start of the transfer window. What you worried about? The opposite one was, well, actually, we've sold Haller a long time ago. He hasn't got a replacement. They're both valid footballing points, but it shouldn't, particularly not on a forum channel. That can't happen. That's not cool at all. But what it did highlight is how up and how stressed people are about it, and how it actually doesn't, almost in many respects, the 2 years of credit that David Moyes may or may not have, the semi-final in Europe, all that stuff, it doesn't really amount to anything at the moment because he's being judged now. And that's because a lot of people are nervous, because a lot of fans felt that there was an opportunity to move forward in January. One signing could have made the difference. I've said it here before. One signing could have made the difference between the semi-final and the final. One signing makes the difference. There was very little points in it. It went to the last game of the season. One signing makes a difference between 6th and 7th. And we didn't do it. We just didn't do it. There was an opportunity to strengthen. David Moyes didn't take it. And that's made people nervous. And that's why I think actually a statement signing at the start of the window is very, very important. Someone made a great point a couple of days ago. It was on the radio. Someone made the point that actually signing players at the end of the window is more expensive. It's better to get the deals over the line at the start anyway. You end up paying less because people aren't desperate. And I just looked at it and think, what as a statement does it make for us? So yes, will we end up paying in terms of wages? And we use Jesse Lingard as the example. If Jesse Lingard actually is not 180 grand a week, we say, look, Jesse Lingard is £6 million signing on fee. We were going to pay Man U £15 million for him anyway a year ago. Is £6 million signing on fee? There's 100 grand a week. Even if he turns around and says, I want 110, fine, do 110. We might be 10 grand a week worse off, but the messaging that sends to the players in the squad, the messaging it sends to the fans and the feel-good factor it creates and makes us nervous, makes us think, OK, we're getting deals done early. We're then more confident as fans when we hear transfer rumours and we hear people and players being linked to us. It's a good thing. Before I carry on, this video is sponsored by Manscaped. Now, if you don't know what to get your old man for Father's Day, and it's coming up soon, look no further than Manscaped. Here I've got a lovely, I was going to say carton, let's say box of cologne. It smells absolutely lovely, and this is not the only thing that they do. They do trimmers, beard trimmers, nostril trimmers, pube trimmers, lotions, all sorts of stuff for all your male grooming needs. The best thing is we're going to give you 20% off when you go on to ukmanscaped.com. The link is in the description below. Put everything in your basket, all the sort of stuff that you want. When you get to the end, it'll ask you for a discount code. Use HammersChat, all one word. You get 20% off. Go and do it now. Check it out. The products are absolutely excellent. Look, I'll be perfectly honest with you. When they first started with us on this channel, we agreed to promote them. I've ended up buying a couple of things off them, and I have reinvested in the moisturiser. It's particularly good. If you're wondering why I'm looking so swish and debonair, it is because of those wonderful Manscaped products. Go and check them out there. The other thing that getting a transfer over the line early does is it sends out the correct messaging to players that you want to sign. If you are one of these players that we're linked with and they're umming and ahhing, they're deciding between West Ham and another club, then actually the messaging it sends out to say, actually, we're keeping Declan Rice. Oh, and by the way, we're bringing players in as well. You then start to take it seriously. You immediately say, oh, West Ham better next season than they were last season. Well, that's a good thing, right? I mean, there's not an awful lot better we can get incrementally. That's a really good thing. And then, when the club turn round and are linked with players, or more or less say we're looking to buy 2 or 3 other players, it's more believable. At the moment, there's a lot of us as fans who don't believe that we're going to bring... Honestly, look at the comments from yesterday, and not the nasty ones I had to delete, and just general comments. There's people who don't believe we're signing anybody. Go and have a look. They say, we won't sign anyone in this window. Now, I don't agree with that. I don't think there's any way, because I've got to believe that David Moyes won't sign his own death warrant in that sense by not signing anyone, because you can't. We're already down a load of players. We need to sign lots of players. But there's a number of people who don't believe it, and here's my point, and just signing some players early on, whilst it might cost a little bit more in wages, I think it just relaxes everybody a little bit, and I think, okay, people are taking it seriously. Now, I understand, and this is what started the horrible row yesterday, and I'm not, as I say, I will not have people insulting people and all the rest of it. But what started it yesterday were people that were saying the transfer window hasn't even opened yet. On the video, I literally said it 2 or 3 times. The transfer window isn't open yet. We know. However, that doesn't stop people signing pre-contract. Aston Villa have just signed some people on pre-contract. Azam Hozek has signed pre-contract. Okay? So whilst it hasn't officially opened, you can still get business done now. They just can't arrive at your training ground. You can't start paying them. Yeah. You can still do the research. You can still get the deals. You can still negotiate now. That's the point. Has it officially opened? No. There's been no sign. Nobody has signed anyone. And before we all go around lauding Aston Villa as doing a fantastic job, we had all this last season. One of the wonderful things about doing Hammers Chat is you can actually look back at the comments from a year ago. Go and look at all the comments of everybody saying, "Oh, look, West Ham have done nothing. Aston Villa have signed Buendia. Aston Villa have signed Bailey. Aston Villa have signed Danny Ings. What have West Ham done? Nothing. Why can't West Ham be more like Aston Villa?" That was lit. You can go back and read it. It's there in black and white. Yeah, actually, it's in black and white. Go and read it from last season. That's what everyone was saying. Fact of the matter is, Aston Villa actually sold Jack Grealish, and the actual real fact of the matter here is that the combined efforts, basically, when you add up one Buendia, one Danny Ings, and one, is his name Leon Bailey or Leroy Bailey? I don't know. One of the two. If you add up all those three players, they don't actually, in terms of points on a football pitch, contribute more than Jack Grealish does. Okay, so Aston Villa, for everything that they did right last season, and they're a good team. They're a decent team. They still sold their best players. So I don't want to start lauding what Aston Villa have done so far. At the moment, I've just once bitten, twice shy. I did it all last season, right? However, they are getting business done early. We just don't know whether it's the right business, and there is value to that because, and this is what happened last season. People perked up and they thought, "Oh, Aston Villa, they're doing well. They're getting business done." We got to make sure that we do. I'll be absolutely devastated if we haven't signed, if we haven't done our research and we haven't scouted these players. You don't just want them scouted once, you want 5 or 6 reports in your dossier on a certain player. We should have already decided. We really should have done. And this is my point, and my whole point of the video is, David Moyes, give the fans something, give us something, give us a little feel-good factor, get an early deal done. Don't wait until the end of the window and be all coy. I've no doubt, as I say, I'll go back to Jesse Lingard, we'll use him as an example because that was the example in the question. So I've got loads. Again, one of the people went absolutely bonkers in this. It was a crazy little episode on the channel yesterday. I say yesterday, I'm recording it the same day. That's why I'm wearing the same t-shirt. Otherwise, that would be disgusting, mind you. I smell lovely of Manscaped cologne, of course. One of the people was on there yesterday saying, "Why are you talking about Jesse Lingard and why are you talking about Oxlade-Chamberlain?" And they went really very, very insulting. Look, I didn't make up the story, okay? I didn't make up the story. I literally read the story that was saying, West Ham are interested in Jesse Lingard. If it falls through, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain may well be an option, a backup option. All right, that's it. I didn't make it up, okay? That's just the story that was out there. I just spoke about it. Okay, and this guy contacted me 3 times. If you're that triggered by it, okay, by the transfer news, don't just take the summer off. Come back when the games start again, honestly. So, anyway, but that was an extreme example, it has to be said. However, there are people that are worried, and I'm one of them, about this transfer window, and we could just do with a little bit of something from the manager to give us a little bit of confidence to get a player in. It may cost us a little bit more in terms of money, in terms of wages at the start. But in the long run, it'll probably save us money because we're not bidding for players and paying a more expensive amount by trying to get deals over the line on transfer deadline day. And maybe, just maybe, the players at West Ham, the managerial team at West Ham, the owners at West Ham, and most importantly, the fans at West Ham will be able to chill out a little bit. And because of that, the club will be perceived in a better light. We will look ambitious. And that way, we can hopefully attract a few players to come into.